Hey guys, welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to start a new kit. Um, this little puppy here, a P40B. Excuse me. As a kid, this was iconic for me because of obviously, or maybe not so obvious, the tiger's teeth. I just thought that was so cool, and I so wanted to fly a plane that had such a ferocious looking face to it. It's something I loved as a kid. Um, and so we're going to be working on this today. But before we get started on that, you see it's still in the shrink wrap. This is like a $10 kit. This is why I like the 172nd scale. Just a quick update on the Matilda. I've got some bits to finish putting on, and then I will start painting it. So I should have the assembly finished. I didn't feel like I needed to show you guys any more of me gluing some bits. You kind of get the process, right? And I've decided I am going to paint it with a World of Tanks paint scheme. So I may get creative with it. Part of it is I want to practice my painting and weathering, and I don't want to get hung up because I know myself on an accurate historical paint job. So Nagewa, awesome, my friend. I got something here. I'm hiding it just a little tease. And he asked, and I was talking to him a little earlier about a kit that I purchased, which we will do a quick reveal here. It's a 132nd scale World War One model. I purchased it. I passed on it twice, and the third time I decided I'm just going to get it. It says, on a side note, if you ever see this game, I highly recommend it. Wings for the Baron, 2nd edition, 2015. I'll look for it. I like anything that's World War One air combat. It's kind of one of my favorite periods, quite honestly. And that's one of the reasons why I designed the war game that I did. Yeah, Academy makes nice models. I'm not going to complain. And then, yeah. Okay, so there you go. This is a 132nd scale. This is a 172nd scale. Kind of a big difference. Okay, so the big reveal. Bam. Ming, Fokker triplane. I know it's. Let me get my mug out of here. It's cliched, right? But I broke down and got it. Now, I did read that apparently this was an old Wingnuts kit that Ming had done. I've gone on their website. I've looked. You can't find it on their website, which I think is weird. So this might be a one-off. I got an email or a text from the local hobby shop because of their little marketing thing that said, hey, 10% off. So I went down there because what the heck, hobby store, 10% off. And this bad boy was still on the shelf. And like I said, I passed on it twice. That 10% was enough for me to go ahead and get it. So I promised Nagawa, I'm going to do a quick little unboxing of this before I dig into the build. So I want to keep this about an hour tonight. It might go a little over, but hey, it happens. Okay, so again, 132nd scale. This is the paint scheme I might do. I just love that kind of streaky yellow with on the olive drab. Now, I did look for these paints, and these paints are the MC. These are from AK Interactive. The problem is these paints are specifically for Ming, and I could not find these online. I was going to build this as a straight generic build right out of the box with these paints. So I'm going to do what I can as far as that goes. Yeah. Hey, thanks, boss. Yeah, it's kind of a cool kit. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a quick little unboxing of this, show you what's on the inside. Now, I'm a sucker for matte finishes. This box has a matte finish. I know that's not why I bought it, but I am a sucker for it. Don't need to see the receipt. Okay, so first off, I haven't even broken open the bags yet. And I will open some of those, but let's dig into, ooh. And there is a little photo etch in here. That'll be fun. And then some nice decals. I'm going to start saying decals because I think that just sounds cooler. That's just me. And I'll open one of these here in a second, but let's just go ahead and let's peel this back real quick just to give you a look-see of the instructions. Now, I have seen a few videos, and this is not, the instruction book is not the same as a Wingnuts. Now, I'm tempted to get a Wingnuts kit, but they're way overpriced, $250, $450, and my skills are not quite there. Anyway, there's some, this is all in Japanese. There's a little English here. And these are kind of a 3-ring. I don't know if they go into a binder of some sort. Kind of interesting, I guess. Multiple languages. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. Well, we'll keep them, obviously. So put that aside. Let's take a quick look at this. Okay, nice. Oh, here we go. I like that. Colored. It's got the 4 different paint schemes up here. And the instructions look pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Now, this is going to be a try hard for me. I'm going to do my best. I will, boss. I will. That metal thingy. Photo etch. So I'll pull that out here in a second. But actually, you see right here on the instructions, this is a piece of photo etch that you need to roll into a cylindrical shape. And basically, it's brass. Very thin brass with detail that they just cannot create in a mold process. And so they will put photo etch into kits. That's a whole new rabbit hole for you, my friend. Whole new rabbit hole. Anyway, real quick, you'll see. Nice. Yeah, this is going to be oh, look at that. Nice color. Oh, my goodness. I'm half tempted to just go ahead and paint it very cliched, the Red Baron. I probably will. I'm not going to. Oh, but there it is. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Who is that? Is that Werner Voss? I say Werner, but is it Burner? Oh, look at options. Okay, I'm not going to commit to anything just yet. Ooh, there it is. Okay. I like all of these, actually. There we go. Okay. So let's just very quickly take one of the sprues out. And let's just look at some of the quality of the kit itself. That's pretty nice. I don't know if you can see the detail. There you can kind of see. Look at those little lines on there. Yeah, this is going to be a fun build. And you can't quite see it, but they're very faint. You can see the framing as if that's actually canvas stretched over it. That is very subtle, but I'm very impressed by that. They could very easily just make that smooth. And again, I'm not quite sure you can see that. Okay. Anyway, guys. Yeah, Pantone, good point. I can go to Pantone and pull out some of these colors. I could do that. Yeah, if you got a link, send it to me. I'd like to check that out. I've seen a few myself. They're actually pretty cool. Oh, good. You can see it. Nice. Alrighty, boss. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this bad boy open. Again, this is probably going to go into the mothball fleet. You know, those are models that I plan to at some point paint. I still need to get a compressor for the airbrush, excuse me. This was a $10 kit, by the way. I picked it up on eBay. I still think that these are great when you're starting out, and these can be built fairly quickly. Okay, check your part list before unsealing. Right, we're just going to go ahead and dig right into this. I don't know if I can open it. Okay, so much for just the pulling it apart trick. Oh, okay, and the clear is inside and inside. As you can tell, there's not a lot of parts, which is nice. That's the other thing about these kits is you can dive into one of these, knock them out on a weekend, and not get hung up and get bored if you happen to get bored. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, so what do we got? We got our decals. Okay, yeah. And then pretty straightforward. 8 steps. Yep. Now, I'm not going to detail the cockpit. I'm just going to paint that over at this point, only because I don't want to waste the time trying to detail and paint at 1/72nd scale. Not that I can't do it. I'm actually, you know, I've got many years of painting miniatures, and I enjoy doing that. But on this kit, it's more about putting things together and painting the model itself and not worrying too much about the interior. So, you know, sue me, but we're going to take that approach with this particular kit. So I'm going to just glue the canopy on, and then I'll just paint over it, you know, light blue or whatever, and we won't worry about what's on the inside. Not on this particular build. So what do we got? This is spruce C, D, and yeah, all sprues are different. This is A and B. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Where did I put the instructions? Of course, I put them back in the box, right? So let's try a speed build. What does Miguel say here? He says, I think I will get you the link. It takes a long time. Okay. Oh, oils. I've got oils. I've been tempted to do that on some of my minis. I haven't done that yet. There's my ugly mug. I haven't done that yet. My next model will be 8. There you go. Relearn and practice. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got the pilot. I'm going to save it. Like I said, on this particular kit, we're just going to bypass step 1. We're going to go right to 2. I'm going to lock I'm not going to, I go back and forth on making that prop spin or not. Landing gear. So we'll see if we can knock this out in the next 45 minutes. That's going to be kind of the challenge here. Hey, Charles. How's it going, my friend? A little warm today. Not too bad, but it's still. Again, I have no air conditioning in my place. It's a pretty old place. You know what? A lot of the World War I kits, I don't remember seeing pilots. I could probably take the pilot that's in this kit and with a little bit of work, make it look like it's World War I. I'm pretty sure I could do that. By the way, I did like your build on that, Nageva. And Charles says, yep. It's so great to see you, Charles. Yep. Alrighty, guys. So let's go ahead. What do we got here? B. Oh, that's not it. We're looking for the nose. There it is. Okay, speed build. Can we do this in 45 minutes and get it to be ready to be painted? We shall see. Yeah, and there's the pilot. Such a little guy. Okay, D. Oh, that's funny because everything else is on the D. There we go. It's going to need a little bit of cleaning. Oh, where are they? Oh, there it is. And I think that piece there. Again, for $10, I mean, seriously. I don't drink coffee, but I'm sure coffee costs more than $10. So let's see, what do we got here? This goes through here, like so. That's a tight fit. Interesting. Okay, it says no glue here. I'm gonna slide that on. Okay, that looks wrong. You want to put the prop on backwards. So I think we're just going to put a little dab of glue right there. I'm not going to worry about trimming that because this nose is going to go over it. And you see it spins. Okay, fair enough. So what do we got on this? I don't think I need to worry about that. I don't know if there's a front or a back that looks, although there is a little, let me just look. No, there's a little bump. And I'm not sure on the instructions, it doesn't show it. Interesting. That looks like it's just an ejector mark. Yeah, I think that's all that is. Okay, so we're good. But that just won't be seen. Okay. Let's put this on the right way. It's different on a World War I aircraft because that's so prominent, right? The cockpit is open, so you're going to see it. Okay. Now there's a good chance that that glue is going to get down and fuse. We shall see how well I did. Now I am going to put a little bit of glue here. Turn that over. Get a little glue on the back. Okay, I'm not going to beat myself up if I glue this closed, although I'm trying not to. I'm not going to worry about it if I do. Okay, looks like I got the props facing the right way. And it still rotates and it's not sticking, which means there's no glue there. Okay, we'll just drop that and let it dry. Let me just take a look at the chat. Yeah, the detail's not bad. I mean, some of these manufacturers, and again, I think Academy does a really good job. And I'm going to say it again. I don't think you can complain for $10. That's just, the way I look at it. Okay, we're going to let that dry. We're going to go into step 3. Do we want gear up or gear down? I think I'm going to go gear up because if I put this in a diorama, I want it flying. And I've got a trick on that I used to do as a kid because I did probably 90% of my models either hung from the ceiling or I did as a diorama. And I'll get into, you know what I'll do? Probably I should just build this out and then show you how that diorama is put together. That would be a good video, I think. I don't know. Good question. I do not know. So we're start with an easy kit. We're skipping step 1. We do 2. We're skipping 3. We're going to go to 4. I'm not doing that just to get it done in a short period of time. I actually wanted, like I said, do this as a diorama. Okay, so let's get that fuel tank snipped and glued. And a bomb. There we go. So I like the giveaway that Meandering Mike had done. It gives me an idea maybe to get some of these kits and use those as a giveaway. I've never done a giveaway on any of my channels, so I'm kind of debating on whether I want to do that. Sorry, trying to get a file. Just to clean this up real quick. So, yeah, I'm debating on whether I want to do giveaways, at least on the Builds channel with some kits. I think that would be kind of cool, quite honestly. Okay. There we go. Charles says, I'm losing my sanity. My grandfather wanted to see my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I spent the whole afternoon going through some of my collection. I said I was never going to buy any more cards, but yeah, I made a statement, right? I'm not going to buy any more kits until I build all the ones I have, and then I went and bought the Volker because that's what we do. Okay, let's go ahead and glue these together. Now, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I did get Starfield. I'm going to be playing it. It's already loaded on my computer. I may or may not do some gameplay of it on my Hissy Cat Studios channel. I mean, it's not a war game per se. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and run just a little along that to let that capillary action get in there. There we go. Okay. And Charles says, it was for many, many years the runner-up to the Magic the Gathering cards. Really? Mine was L5R, and the runner-up was Magic the Gathering. I started playing some Magic the Gathering. I got into L5R, and that became my de facto CCG. I've got 7 or 8 uncut sheets of cards. I got to know the people at AEG pretty well. Awesome people there. And I even argue to this day that it's one of the best games I've ever played. Games, not just card games, but just games, period. But there's some nostalgia in that. You know, there's a lot that went on to playing that game that was social, that kind of adds to that statement. But I stand by it. Oh, I just got a little glue on the fingers. Okay, I'm not too pleased with the way that went together. We're going to have to come back and clean that up with some filing. Okay. Let it dry, clean it up later. Okay, so what do we got? Fuselage. And you guys are okay. P40B, yes, sir. There you go, Charles. Okay. Snippity snip. Also, these kits are great if you're doing this with grandchildren or children, depending on your age. Charles and I would be grandchildren. Not that we don't have children, but they may not want to build a model. Okay, let's do a quick dry fit. Again, since I'm not doing the cockpit, I'm not worried about that going in. Okay, let's get some of this. was going to glue it and then file, but I don't want that to be an issue. I've got a pretty aggressive grit with this file, and I'm too lazy to dig to find the right one right at the moment. Okay. Don't need to make it perfect. I'm going to go back later and try to do that. So this is one of the skills of, when you're doing aircraft that have these types of assembly involved, where you've got the fuselage. Even doing the smaller scale, it's going to help you practice getting this particular skill down. Now, I don't have my tape here with me, but what sometimes I'll do is glue it and then tape it. But we're going to go ahead and hold this. Yeah, see, it wants to split a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to run that right down the top, that edge. And then I will hold it here in just a second. Let's get it along the bottom. Now, what I'm going to try doing is just holding this for a bit, let it get some traction, and then I'll glue the back. So we'll give this a try. Yeah, well, we're not fully developed adults. Yeah, I think a lot of us fall into that category. I think the P-40 is... Okay, so Charles says, I believe the Brits Commonwealth used them a lot. They may have. I think the P-40 is American-made. But, yeah, the Brits may have used them. I know these were also part of Lend-Lease, as I remember. No, it's the Air Cobra was. My bad. Air Cobra. Charles says, my collection made up for never having... Oh, really? I'm not sure I still have it, but somewhere I had I was collecting 1961 tops. I was born in 61, so I wanted to have the complete set. And then kind of went through a divorce. Not that she threw anything out. Well, maybe, but I'm not blaming her. Okay. Point being is when I moved out, I don't remember if I took it or I didn't take it. And yeah, some stuff got lost. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not going to blame anybody. Okay, let's get a little glue along this edge. A little along the bottom. There's a couple of dimples there. I'll decide if I'm going to go back and try to fill that. I mean, the idea, if I'm really trying to learn, is to kind of go back and do some of these things, right? Okay. My squeeze got a little out, and yeah, you can see where that went, but that's fine. That'll file off easy enough. I like the DC-3. I've seen them in person. I've never been on one, but I always thought those were cool aircraft. Yeah, I don't have a problem building one. I would consider doing that. I'm not against doing any type of kit. In fact, give that a second to dry. I picked up a while back this kit. It's a Russian-made kit, or Czechoslovakia. No, it says made in Russia, 1/72 scale. Kind of a vintage kit of some sort. I'm holding off. I'm not even sure those decals are any good anymore. I'm holding off until my skills get a little better, because this is going to be a try hard. I think I paid maybe $15 for this, though. And you can tell this is a pretty old kit. I mean, that's yellowing and peeling. And there's the, I mean, this is it, right? Plastic bag. And I don't know if you can tell, but the plastic is kind of thick, but it's all, look at that, it's all yellowed. So this has got some age to it. That will be on the channel at some point when like I said, when my skills get up. Okay, so we've got that put together. Oh, you know what? I totally wasn't paying attention. I needed to get this put in there. Look at that. Great. Now I'm going to have to pry this open. There we go. That want to spin? Well, it looks like it wants to rotate. Okay. Let's put a little glue back on here. That was not paying attention. I'm talking to you guys. I'm going to blame you for my mistakes. Okay. Let's get that pinched. There we go. That's a tight fit, but it still rotates. And I think I got the blades correct. Again, if not, I can always glue this down. But you see it does rotate. Okay. Okay. Let's give that a second. (1938) Okay. Yeah, I should probably do a little history on these kits as I'm building them. That would kind of be a nice share, I think. Yeah, there was one other bit that was supposed to go in here, and I didn't even think to clean that up. Man, I am just, shame on me. Okay. I wonder if I can put that in later. Let's see. Okay, let me find it. One of the reasons I'm trying to do a speed build is, one, I just want to see if I can do it. And two, it does teach you to kind of read the instructions. Is it this bit here? What's it say? D30. That is D. Yeah, D30 right here. Okay. John says bomber. As I just checked, they said it's like it's still using the DC3 in the late 80s and perhaps the 90s. Yeah, it's, I mean, I think service, oh, yeah, that looks like it's starting to, okay. Let's do this then. Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, the air scoop. And then there's a bit that goes in behind it on the instructions, like so. Now the question is, do I want to pry it open yet again? I mean, that's kind of, or can I just somehow get it down in there? Hey, Mike. Hey, I liked your giveaway, dude. I'm thinking of copying that, although I've never done giveaways. I've been on the fence about that, but that was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, that was kind of cool. Okay, so if I were to do this, yeah, I can probably fit that in there. Not that anybody's going to notice. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, that's not dry yet. Okay. So I could pry it open, but I'm going to have to split the whole thing. Let's just call that a mess. Okay. Got the wings next. Okay. Now I save my sprues. I'm not going to use that. That's part of the cockpit. But I save my sprues for scrap building, and also I guess you can kind of throw some glue on this, melt it down, and make goop, which is used for filler. But while that dries, let's go ahead and take a peek. I got here. Let's just check our instructions. Yes, it's only those 3 pieces. Okay. See, one of the other things I could do, potentially, I'm just looking at a dry fit here. Glue this on and then put the wings on. Why would I want to do that? Why does that not look right to me? Yep. Sprue goo. Sprue goo. That's what it's called. So I save it for that and also for scrap building of things. I've used them in terrain for pipes and whatnot. Okay. Trying to see if that's going to fit. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the wings on. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do this bit first and then put the wings on, because if I get these slightly off, but I'm overthinking it, which is what I've been doing lately. Been overthinking way too much lately. Okay. Yes, I'm just going to go ahead and slap a little like so, a little bit there. Just along that edge, just to start the melting process. Okay. This bit first. And let's get that trailing edge. What should happen is this glue should start to melt the plastic just enough so that when I start to assemble it, it sticks. And then I can make whatever little fine adjustments I need to make. Let's start on this side. You heard that. That popped in. Although that does not look right on that edge. Look at that. I'm not buying it. Yeah, I can't tell if those are lined up or not. See, that was why I was thinking I'd glue that. But the rest of it seems to fit. Okay, let's go from the end. Okay, we're going to trust going from the end, the end. Okay. A little bit on that trailing edge, like I said. The leading edge, I'll just go back over and do a little fill with. There we go. quick and dirty. Okay, hard to pop that time as well. Okay, yeah, see, look, it looks like it's not lined up. Again, I'm going to go from the edge back. Okay, let's see how that sits in the fuselage. Oh, that fits nice and snug, which is probably what it should do. Okay, I'm going to take that as a win before I glue that. Yeah, I run into that in the wintertime where I can't use my 3D printer because my apartment gets too cold and it just doesn't print. So unfortunately, us hobbyists still have to succumb to the weather at some point. Okay, so I got the bombs. I'm going to show the landing gear up. There's some bits on here. Yeah, there's not too much more to go on this bad boy. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue here on this. Let that start to melt. Go along this edge. Go along this edge. Oh, I didn't trim that. We're going to go ahead and snip that real quick. Again, working at a fast speed. A little too sloppy, Miguelito. Let's pop that in. There we go. That's actually a nice little fit. That's actually a nice little fit. So with the Fokker, I'm going to definitely do a try hard on that. I'm going to try my best to detail out the cockpit. So we will spend a lot of time on that bad boy. Let's make sure we seal up any of these little gaps like that. Like I said, that leading edge didn't get any glue earlier, so we'll just run a little along there now. We don't need a lot, although I always put a lot. That's what I do. Okay. Don't want that gap. This is where the tape comes in handy. You can just tape this stuff together really tight and let it dry. Hopefully, if I do have any gaps, I can go back. See, that's not, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not happy with that. Right here. That doesn't look like it's seated very well. So that will involve me, even on the bottom side of that. That's probably more me than the kit, but there's a gap there. So I'm going to go ahead and slap a little more glue in there, hopefully get this to melt. And then I will come back and do whatever little cleaning up I need to do. But we're going to hold this for a second. So what's your next kit, Nagawa? What are you going to work on, my friend? Yeah, I've got some clamps that would work. I need to go find them. And there's the small hobby clamps. I think they're out in the garage. A clamp would be nice right about now as well. Cool. A spad? Are you going to do a diorama with your Fokker, a little air combat, or just to kind of have some foes? That fit is actually not that bad. Let's see if you can tell. That's actually pretty good in there. I mean, other than that spot that I was talking about, a little pressure might solve that. Okay. Let's get a little bit of this right there. So you can see on this kit, and I can right there, little dimple in the manufacturing of this. But again, 1/72 scale, these are decent quality. I'll just go over that with a little bit of filler. I've got some of the Tamiya filler. I'll put some on there and file it out. Again, just working on the skills, right? That's just a skill builder. So I don't mind that. Okay. Let's see, what do we have here? I don't need that sprue. I'm going to need these. Some of this at this point I think is going to be a little self-evident when it comes to some of the main bits. And I can clean up the, try to get the top. Oh, they look symmetrical. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's any different in those parts. You're saying that was a ricochet? A little air damage to the airframe from gunfire? Okay. Now, obviously, that needs to be held in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I've got some glue on here. I'm going to let this melt, and then I will come in and try to line it up. Okay. I'll go ahead and put this one in, do the same thing. Get some glue in here so they can start the melting process, and then I will hold them in place. Because, yeah, that ain't going to cut it, right? We'll take that. Okay, I don't want to knock over my glue. We'll close that up. Now, if I wasn't doing a speed build, I could take the box and cut out a little holder for this, and then I could set these the angle that I wanted them. So I will tell you, now that the glue has kind of melted a little bit, it's much easier for these when I place them that they're going to hold. I'm just eyeballing this at this point. And I don't think they're going to dip. Again, because I let the glue kind of melt and it started to form before I worried about positioning it. You'll notice there's a little bit of glue up in there. Let's beat it up. Now I'll go back and work on the seam lines and try to clean some of that goo. But that's not too bad. Now there are some, that's interesting, maybe it's for the different versions of this aircraft, but there are some side bits here that they just, oh, where are they at? Trying to find the screw to go on. There's one of them. Am I not seeing the other? And I'm not sure about the tail of the tail wheel. Only Merlin made on in 1/72nd scale, but they're hard to find. Oh, what did he say here? Also want to see a hoverstat and often use suites. And he says Airfix seems to be remaking their 72nd models. Am I correct? Yeah, they've got a YouTube channel. Airfix does, and I know they're doing quite a bit as far as re-releasing some of their kits. I don't know how many of them. Okay, so here is the landing gear, the wheels. It looks like in the up position, so nice. Okay, let's go ahead and snip these out. So the kit gives you the bits to do gear up or gear down. Like I said, we're going to go gear up. Now, and then see, here's the wheels and the landing gear if you're going to have the gear down. And that doesn't have the backside. Now, this does look to have a little bit of flashing on it. Give me a second to clean this up. Yeah, look at it. I don't know if you can see that. But that definitely needs to be cleaned. Yeah, it's a little messy in here too. I'll worry about the smoothness. I'll probably have to do that now. Let me just pull a file out. A little bit of teeth to it, not much. This will work. Because once I glue this up in there, I'm not going to be able to get to these edges, right? Okay, we've got like less than 10, well, keep in mind I did do the unboxing, so we can go a little over an hour. It still qualifies as speed build. Okay, I'm going to just trim that. I think that that's just flashing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It says, no, I will not be doing a diorama with the 1/72, but I am ordering some. Wow. A Zeppelin would be a cool model to build. Not going to lie. I wouldn't mind doing a Zeppelin. Yeah, see, that one was flat. You know, I got rid of the other one, and this particular side is also flat. So I think I made the right call. What's weird is most of these bits, parts don't have flashing, but these two do on this one sprue. Noticeable. Yeah, I got to go through and just knock all that flashing off all the wheels. Well, the two wheels. Anyway. Okay. So, here we go. Is there a specific, now watch, so these are going to be numbered, and I pulled them off. 31, B10, where's the other one? Yeah, it looks like they may have been. Oh, well. Okay, let's just look at this. So that's going to go on the inside. That's pretty straightforward. It's going to go like so. Okay. So let's do this. kind of get some glue along these edges here. Goes in like so. Let's get some glue on that and then make whatever adjustments I need to make. Because that needs to be rotated over. Come on, Miguelito, it's not that hard. There we go. Sorry if I had that off camera. So I wanted to line up the seam, although that gap bothers me. It's not fitting as flush as I think it should. Let me take a look inside. And you know what? There's a post. If you would have done the gear down, it doesn't show that that should be snipped, but I'm gonna, let's see, can I get in there? I cannot get in there with the snippers. I might be able to just cut that little post off with my X-Acto. Okay, so if you build this kit and you have your gear up, I would recommend, there. Cutting that post off. That was causing that not to set down as deep as I would have liked it to. Now, that may not be what's needed, but in my case, I've committed and there. Now, let's go back and see how that fits. Get that lined up. Yeah, much nicer. Okay. That sits the way I'd like it to sit. And a little glue on that. There we go. Let's get this side. Okay, 58 minutes, guys. So let's get those in place. Not bad. I think it's not quite the way I want it. I'm going to, again, have to do a little bit of filing to clean that up. Okay. So we're closing in here on an hour, even with the show and tell on the other kit. I'm not going to be able to get this done in an hour, which is what my goal was, but oh well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and hold this for a second. I still have a few more bits to glue on. I'll do that off camera, and then this will go into the mothball fleet. And again, we're going to glue on the canopy and then the little side bits. And I'm just going to paint that. You'll see when I get that done. I got the tail to do. So I probably got another 15 minutes, and this will be done. Some people put the wheels on and not completely down or closed. Yeah, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did. I did. I was just giving myself a little challenge. Because it's a simple enough kit. I was hoping I could do it in an hour, but not to be. But all things considered, I'm going to count it as a win. And then I got a big chunk of it done. So I got that to put on. We've got canopy to put on and our bombs, the racks, and the tail. We're close, right? And then clean up the edges once everything dries. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just glue this nose down. I prefer them not to be twisty, rotating. That's just me. Maybe I'm strange like that. Okay. Actually, let's rotate that like so. So it sits like that. Nice. Anyway, guys, we're right at an hour. Thank you so much for spending some time with me this Wednesday. I really need to decompress. I've had a work week. Oh, man. Busy, busy, busy. So it's nice to take an hour, chit chat with you guys, and glue a little bit of plastic. So we almost got it done. We'll get faster. Anyway, guys, thanks. I appreciate you taking time, and I will see you next week. There probably won't be a postcards from the front tomorrow night just because of work. I have not prepared for one, but there will be the players. I will be doing some play testing over the weekend, and I may stream some of my Starfield. I'm so looking forward to that game. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.